When I was a kid, I never thought about time. It felt unlimited, so I just didn't think about it. But now I'm in my midlife, I get this really strange feeling. It's not panic exactly, but this feeling that life somehow sped up without my permission. And it's scary. See, when you're young, like I said, time feels unlimited, so you just don't think about it. It feels like just something that you spend, right? We say it all the time. I'm spending time with my friends, I'm spending time with family, I'm spending time doing whatever, following my passions, doing my hobbies, all this kind of stuff. And then at some point it goes from feeling like something you're spending to something that you're using up. And now that I'm in my 40s, I feel like it's something that I'm starting to come towards the end of. I've started to understand that time is finite. And how I've started to understand that is simply by spending so much time living life, losing loved ones. And what happens with that is I've started to think recently about things that I wish I'd said to people, things that I wish I'd said to my mum. But sadly I can't, because she passed away quite a long time ago now. It's been 8 years and I can't say the things that I wanted to, you know. I'm starting to get to the point where, actually, I tell you what, I understand why people go through midlife crisis. It's because they feel like they're running out of time. Just like my thumbnail said for this video, time, running out. And it is. Time is running out from the minute you're born. And I'm not saying you should start living like tomorrow doesn't exist, because it does. Tomorrow does exist. But I've come to a point where I feel like I have to do things. I have to get things done, and I have to do them in a timely fashion, because that time feels like it's running out. Like life has sped up. And like I said, without my permission. I didn't ask for time to speed up, but certain things that happen in life make time speed up. Like having kids, gaining responsibilities, you know, getting a job, paying the bills, raising your kids, getting married. All of these things, they all cost time. Forget the money aspect of all these things. Like, everything costs you time. And eventually that time is gonna run out for all of us. Everyone has their day, right? Everyone has that day when they are no more and time has run out. And I feel now that I'm in my midlife that I have wasted so much time, and I've spent so much time being selfish, if I'm quite honest, doing the things that I wanted to do, but they were stupid and reckless things. Like, don't get me wrong, I love my kids and I wouldn't change them for the world, but I had kids really young. I was 18 when I started having kids. And also I have 5 kids with 3 different women, like, because of pure recklessness, because I didn't really care about consequences. I act, and I deal with the consequences later. I can deal with that another time. And so that's how I lived my life, and I've stopped doing that now. You might be pleased to know. I don't live recklessly anymore. I try to live much more intentionally. But like I said, you know, I had kids young. I lived wild and reckless. I caused a lot of people pain. I caused a lot of people hurt. And those people aren't in my life anymore. And I can't apologize to them. I'd love to, but it's not possible. I'm not in any of their lives anymore. But, you know, when you're young, you go through life and time just, it's not on your mind. You think you've got all the time in the world. And we say it all the time. You've got all the time in the world, you're young, whatever. But I feel like I fooled myself into believing that, when the truth is actually very different. You see, time is finite. It's not unlimited. Like I said, everybody has their day. Everybody has that time. When your time comes, that's it. You're no more. And time has run out for you, Maybe not for other people, but it has for you. And so I lived my life without regrets for most of my life. But in the last couple of years, I have started to regret some of the stuff that I've done. Like I said, I love my kids, but I wish I'd have waited until I was a little bit older to have them. And I wouldn't change my kids for the world. They're the best. They mean everything to me. But I don't always feel like I was prepared. I don't feel like I was prepared, especially not at 18. I wasn't prepared to have children when I was 18, but I did. I had kids, and it was tough. It was really tough. And don't get me wrong, there's some advantages to it too. Like I can go out with, I have a grandson. He's 2 years old. When he gets a little bit older, like 4, 5, 6, 7, I can go out and play football with him because I'll still be young enough to be able to do that. You know, I can go out to events with my adult children. I have 2 adult children, the rest are still children. But I have 2 adult children from the first woman I had kids with. And it's kind of nice being a younger dad, but at the same time, it does make me feel a lot older than I actually am. You know, having a 25-year-old daughter when you're 43 makes you feel like you're 70 or something. I don't know. My body makes me feel like that too. But again, that's through recklessness and a lot of the stupid shit that I did in my life, and my body is suffering a little bit for it. But it's been on my mind so much lately that time is starting to run out, and I've started to get into these mad hobbits? No, that's Lord of the Rings, Simon. I've started to get into these crazy hobbits, like I'm now a fragrance collector, have been for the last 6 months, and I can't stop buying them. But it gives me pleasure, and I really enjoy going to the perfume shops and smelling all the different perfumes and picking out ones that I like, and it's great. But a lot of people would say, that's a young man's game. Why are you so obsessed with fragrances and aftershaves and stuff? Well, simply because I like them. I enjoy them. I also still play computer games. I know a lot of people will be like, oh God, computer games, really? Yeah, I do. Not as often as I used to, but I still enjoy playing games here and there. And I'm starting to try and want to live my younger years again, but in a better way than I did when I actually was pretty young. Do you know what I mean? Have you ever had these fears about time and it running out and the different things that you always wanted to do, and now now you feel like time is running out, that you have to go out and do these things? Well, that's kind of where I am now. And yeah, I wanna live. You know, I want to start living in a proper way and experiencing things that I should have when I was really young. You know, like I grew up with just me and my mum, really. I've got siblings, but they're 2 older sisters, but they're much older than me. So they didn't live at home with me until after I was like 4, 5. They'd already grown up and moved out and started having kids and getting married and whatever. But it was just me and my mum at home. And, you know, my mum didn't have a lot of money. She didn't really work, and we had nothing. I didn't get anything great. Actually, I'm lying. I did. My mum provided what she could. I had computers. The only thing I didn't really get was like really nice clothes. Like I didn't have the latest trainers or the latest tracksuits. Yes, I said tracksuits because I was an 80s baby, and shell suits were all the rage when I was young. And I had a couple of them, but I didn't have the big name brands. I didn't have Nike, Adidas, Reebok. You know, I didn't have those things. I had cheap, bastard brand, if you will, clothes, because that's what my mum could afford. But for Christmases and birthdays, if there was things that I really wanted, she tried her best to get me them. Like I said, I got computers. I had Sega Master Systems, Mega Drives, the original PlayStation, all that stuff. But it wasn't easy, and I just, you know, I never had the life that a lot of other young people had, you know, where their mum and dad are still married and they go on holiday every single year. Like, you know, they go to Spain every year, or they go to Portugal, and then they go to Spain, or they go to Italy, or they go to Greece. I never really did that. I had a couple of holidays, like big holidays. I went to Germany with school. I went to Canada with the Scouts, but I was really young, and then I didn't have another and I went to Spain, but with my sister when I was 15. But I was young, and I didn't have another holiday until I was like 28 years old, where I went to Holland for 3 days on my own and just roamed around Holland for 3 days on my own. Had a blast, met some people. I'm a personable, talkative guy, so I met a load of people. But I haven't had a proper holiday since then. And I'm going on holiday this year with my fiance, and we're going to Albufeira in Portugal, and I can't wait, because I haven't had that experience for so long, and I want to be able to start going on holiday every single year. You know, I never learnt to drive. I lived in London all my life, and in London you don't really need to drive. You can get about pretty easily and fairly cheaply, depending on how you do it, on public transport. So I never learned to drive. But now I'm in rural Ireland, in the countryside. It's difficult to go and do exactly what you want to go and do when you want to go and do it if you don't drive. So I have to rely on my partner to drive me about, which she's quite happy to do most of the time. But, you know, she has her things that she needs to do too. She can't just drop it. If I want to go and do something, I'm like, oh, I'm bored, I want to go out and do this. She can't just drop what she's doing to come and take me where I want to go. But we do things together, and it's nice. But I'm getting a little bit off point here. I want to be able to do the things that I feel like I should have been doing when I was younger. And I'd like to know if you feel like this, because sometimes I do feel like, am I the only one who feels like this? Am I the only one going through this? I know I'm probably not, but I don't know anybody else who actually feels like that. Most of my friends growing up, they all had both their parents, and they had this wonderful life where they went on holiday every year, they got the latest clothes, they did all these things. Now I'm starting to understand that and want that for myself. You know, my mum and dad can't be together again. My mum has passed away, and my dad has a new wife. Well, I say new, he's been with her a very long time, but you know, he has another wife, and my mum has passed away. So my mum and dad can't get together. I can't get those years back where I was younger either. So I don't know. I just feel like time is passing me by, and I need to do things in order to make myself happy. I'm not saying that I'm not happy. I am. I'm very happy, and probably the happiest I've ever been in my life right now. But I do want to experience the things that you're supposed to experience when you're younger, you know, before you had responsibilities and you could just do whatever you wanted. And I'm trying to do that. So, like, I'm buying all these fragrances all the time. I spend money on whatever I want. Yeah, I take care of my bills and my responsibilities and all that stuff. But I have some money, you know, I'm not broke anymore. I'm not as broke as I used to be anyway. So I can buy myself some nice stuff sometimes. So I do, and I enjoy it. And one thing I've noticed is people tell me all the time, like, what, do you really need all this stuff? Like, what are you doing? Are you going through some midlife crisis or something? And I started to think about it, and I think, yeah, actually, I think maybe it is a bit of a midlife crisis. And the crisis is that I feel like time's running out. And if I want to do these things that I want to do, I need to just do them. And there's nothing wrong with that. I know some of this video might sound like I'm being a bit down in the dumps about things, and I'm not. I'm just trying to work through my thoughts and share them with you, because maybe you feel the same way about some of this stuff, and maybe it can help you to figure out these thoughts and feelings that you're having too, if you're having these same thoughts and feelings. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and tell you guys that, you know, time is finite. Don't live like tomorrow doesn't exist. Don't start being reckless. Because I did that when I was younger, when I thought time was unlimited. I always thought, you know, I'll call next week. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it when the time is right. I'll leave this relationship when the time is right. But right now it's serving a purpose, blah, blah, all this stupid stuff, right? Now I try and live a bit more intentionally, but I'm trying to do these things that I want to do. And if you've been feeling the same way lately, please let me know in the comments. As always, if this message landed with you, like the video, share the video, and subscribe to Midlife Mapped for more content around midlife. This is just my journey, but maybe it rings a few bells with you too. And until next time, stay safe, keep a positive mental attitude, and I'll catch you in the next one.